Right now, you keep losing arguments you should never be in, not because you're wrong, because you're defending yourself. Defense sounds noble, it feels honest, it looks like clarity. In power, it is none of these. Defense is an audition. It concedes the courtroom, the judge, and the laws to your accuser. Every "let me explain" signs a confession. My reality is negotiable. Machiavelli's trick is blunt. Never defend. Decide. Not louder, lower. Not longer, shorter. Not faster, slower. Defense begs. Decisions bend. The instant someone attacks your position, your value, your price, your intent, you have one job: keep the frame. Frames rule outcomes. Whoever frames the moment rules the meaning. Defenders live inside someone else's frame. Rulers make the frame and speak from it. Here's the hinge you missed. The first person to ask why loses leverage. The first person to say because pays for the loss. Because is a bribe you hand the room to be allowed to be clear. Stop paying. From this second on, you run 3 moves in order: freeze, frame, flip. Freeze. You exhale before you answer. 2 seconds, head still, hands quiet. You do not answer on inhale. Inhale is pray. Exhale is rule. Frame. You say one sentence that sets the law or the mission. 7 words or fewer. No apology, no biography. Rush rate or standard. That's phase 2 or an add-on. Flip. You return the burden where it belongs, with them, using a noun-heavy question or a binary door. Then silence. Silence is not absence, it's an invoice. Let them pay it with discomfort, not with your paragraphs. No, they will think you're finished. People are not courts of reason, they are thermometers. They calibrate to the colder object. Defending warms you up. Deciding makes you winter. Let's do the anatomy of a moment so you stop getting stripped at contact. Old you explains costs, scope, the state of the market. The frame, your price needs permission to exist. New you, freeze, frame, flip, frame. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. Flip. Silence. If they push why, you don't move into their courtroom. Repeat your door once. If they push again, you end. We're off mission. Old you gives the tour for free. Frame. You're the student, they're the examiner. Frame. We discuss goals, constraints, budget. Diagnostic is X. Flip. Silence. If they won't name a number, they weren't ready for the map. Old you defends the plan. Frame. You're on trial for intelligence. New you. That's incorrect. The decision stands. Frame. Flip the room. Stand, leave. Exits are sermons. Rooms remember them longer than lectures. Understand this at bone level. Defenders need the room. Rulers need the mission. You will remove the reflex to defend by changing your body first, then your mouth. Body. Exhale before you speak. Drop your pitch by 1 note. Hold stillness for 2 beats before questions and 5 beats after decisions. Walk 20% slower when pressed. Hands quieter than your sentences. Feet flat. Heels down. Predators conserve. They are leashes you hand strangers. Cut them. Replace with blades you can say under adrenaline. That's incorrect. Rush rate or standard. That's phase 2 or an add-on. We're off mission. Your job is not to be liked. Your job is to be legible. Legible standards create certainty. Certainty creates compliance. Compliance delivers outcomes. Truth without frame is trivia. Truth inside your frame becomes law. Machiavelli wrote for courts where a sigh could be treason. The smart learn to look heavy and speak light. Silence first, verdict next, questions last. Never the reverse. Here's the non-defense dictionary, the words and moves that keep you sovereign when bait shows up dressed as respect. Door, scope or date. Door, diagnostic is X. Door, reduce scope or keep scope at my rate. Door, Title and comp now or current scope. Door, rush or standard. You are setting physics. Let's take the opponent's advantage apart. Why defenders lose even when they're right. Time tax. The longer you talk, the cheaper you get. Your sentences are coupons. Their silence is the cash register. Tempo theft. They spike the pace to push you into errors. You slow by a third. Panic looks silly next to a glacier. Topic swap. They drag you into biography. You stay in the ledger. Outcomes, owners, constraints, dates. Moral framing. You translate morality back to mechanics. Public stage. They perform to the crowd. You pair to verdicts and end at the second mock. Exits beat comebacks. You'll want practice under heat, not in a mirror. Here are 5 arenas and the non-defense you'll carry into each. Boss arena. Take on more scope. You, what metric and date earn the title? Silence. I'll accept with title and comp or keep current scope. No lecture about fairness. Verdict plus door. You, we discuss goals, constraints, budget. The diagnostic is X. You, who owns the decision? Stand. Leave. Family arena. Real family bends. You, I don't do unscoped favors. Outcome and deadline or Tuesday at 2, Thursday at 10. Notice the rhythm. Freeze, frame, flip, silence. The structure is the same everywhere because human pressure is predictable everywhere. Now we install the calendar that protects you when your mouth wants to betray you. 2 windows weekly. Publish them every Monday morning. Openings, Tuesday 2, Thursday 10. No signer, no meeting. No deposit, no date. Missed appointments move to the back. Reschedules pay. Rush exists at triple. Process lives behind deposit. Changes are add-ons or phase 2. This isn't cruelty, it's custody of your time, your focus, your finish line. Without custody, you defend yourself for a living. With custody, you deliver and the room defends your time for you. You need rituals so the habit of not defending survives adrenaline. Ritual 1, the stone breath. Before every reply, exhale for 6. Speak on the last 2. Pitch drops. Pulse follows. Ritual 2, the 2-sentence decree. Every decision goes out in 2 sentences max. 1 link, 1 date. If they need a novel, they need a signer. Ritual 3, the door reflex. Every ask meets a binary before a sentence. Repeat once if they wriggle. If they refuse twice, and. We're off mission. Ritual 4, the exit rep. And one thing early each week when the law is mocked. The meandering call, the DM quick ask, the public debate that's bait. Exits are sermons for your nervous system. If the page is empty, your calendar is lying. Your feelings will fight this. They'll dress fear as kindness. They'll whisper that explanations make people feel safe. Truth, explanations make people feel in charge of you. Be kind after law, not instead of it. Offer warmth on schedule, not to buy acceptance. Say thank you when they meet the rule. Admit error fast and upgrade policy so it never repeats. I over-explained last quarter. I allowed unscoped tweaks. No drama, just law that learns. You don't need willpower to stop defending. You need choreography to make defending impossible. You freeze. 2 seconds. Silence. 5 seconds. If they cite vibe instead of a variable, you refuse the genre. We measure outcomes. If they pivot to feelings again, you end. Freeze. Flip. Reduce scope or keep scope at my rate. Silence. If they plead poverty, you keep policy. Understood. Freeze. Flip. What outcome defines a win? Silence. If facts fail, fantasy ends. This is not attitude, it's architecture. You will measure progress with numbers, not moods. Because moods lie when you stop apologizing. Track 5 every Friday. Pause integrity. Did you hold 2 beats before and 5 after the key moments? Goal daily. Door discipline. Percent of requests answered with a binary first. Goal rising. Signer rate. Percent of meetings with the decision owner present. Goal greater than 80. Scope seal. Percent of tweaks priced or moved to phase 2. Goal 100. Exit index. Percent of meetings ended at second mock or interruption. Goal non-zero. You're being captured. Correct in 24 hours. Raise the floor. Add the clause. Close the corridor. And the thread. Publish an outcome. To people who lived on your explanations, yes. They'll call custody cruelty. They'll call clarity arrogance. They'll call standards rigidity. To the rooms that produce outcomes, it's relief. You've made decisions cheaper than arguments. You've made mission louder than moods. You've made law safer than charisma. Again, hold 5 seconds of quiet. That quiet is weight. Keep it. Next, we'll weaponize this non-defense into open field control. How to turn accusations into admissions. How to make interrogators answer their own questions. How to use silence to raise your price. And how to end scenes so cleanly that your absence works while you sleep. Watch closely. Right now, you're still trying to convince. Stop. Make them confess. Machiavelli's trick isn't a comeback. It's a courtroom switch. You flip who sits in the witness chair. You never defend. You make them define, disclose, and decide. This is how you weaponize non-defense. Burden, box, bill. Move the burden onto them. Box the chaos into doors. Bill the moment with silence. Burden first. He who asserts must quantify. Make that law. You don't explain. You demand the ledger. Silence. If they cite feelings instead of a variable, you translate vibes into mechanics. We measure outcomes. If they can't name one, the trial ends. You don't open your diary. You move the burden. Silence. If they want your entire process for free, you gate it. Process follows deposit. Diagnostic is X. You have nothing to prove. They have something to pay. You don't defend cost. You force clarity. Silence. Then box the fog. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. If they ask why, you don't move into their courtroom. Repeat once, then end if they press again. We're off mission. That's the frame flip. You're not the defendant. You're the clerk of reality. Metrics, owners, dates, no sermons. Now the box. This is where you force interrogators to answer their own questions. They ask slippery questions to pull you into a maze. You answer with one of 3 boxes: definition, constraint, authority. Ask one, silence. Ask the next, silence. Ask the third, silence. They will try to drag you back into autobiography with, but why? You refuse the genre with a verdict and a door. Answer A. Your questions are gates. Their answers are tickets. No ticket, no ride. Say one, shut up. Let silence pump their truth to the surface. Now the bill. Silence as tax. You state your rate once, then wait. Not a smile, not a flinch. Because is a bribe you pay to be allowed to be clear. Silence raises price in 4 ways. It makes them negotiate with themselves. It makes urgency look juvenile. It makes your number look like weather, not opinion. It makes them fill the space with concessions. When they anchor low, you don't justify. You trade scope or you hold rate. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. Then silence again. If they repeat the anchor, you repeat the doors. Once. If they repeat a 3rd time, you end and raise your floor for the next window. Disrespect is data. Price forward. Let's crack open the live plays that make interrogators answer themselves. Play 1, the mirror and mute. Repeat their last decisive words as a question, then go mute. Silence. They will either reveal the number or reveal that it's a tactic. Both are useful. Play 2. The cold read. Say the quiet thing calmly. Silence. If you're right, they submit. If you're wrong, they correct you with the truth you needed. Play 3. The timestamp. When they float grievances, demand a clock. Silence. Vagueness dies under dates. Silence. If the brief doesn't exist, the meeting dies or a diagnostic is purchased. No more ghost deliverables. Silence. If the owner isn't present, your absence will be. These are not comebacks. They are clamps. They stop the bleed where you used to leak paragraphs and approval. 3 steps. Name their frame, name your frame, offer doors. Reduce scope or keep scope at my rate. Silence. By naming their frame, you expose it. By naming yours, you install it. By offering doors, you force them to operate inside it. Public heat? The mob throws fog. You appoint a judge. Who owns the decision? Exit. If yes, answer in a verdict. Stand. Leave. Exits outlive clapbacks. Private heat. Back-channel DMs try to triangulate you. One channel, one decision. Silence. If they keep whispering, you end the corridor. Corridors breed coups. Family heat. I don't do unscoped favors. Outcome and deadline. Or Tuesday at 2, Thursday at 10. Love remains. Leak closes. You are kind by structure, not by sacrifice. Boss heat. Be a team player. Take the extra scope. What metric and date earn the title? Silence. I'll accept with title and comp, or keep current scope. If they preach virtue, you return to economics. Now you need the no defense playbook for each battlefield. Sales. No RFP responses. Diagnostic is X. Procurement. We use our paper. No retroactive discounts. Repeat once. Silence. Policy versus policy. Let math negotiate. Marketing. Publish outcomes and openings. Hide the rest. Openings. Tuesday 2, Thursday 10. Your silence creates rumor. Your stones create proof. Partnerships. Pilot first. 30 days. Single KPI. If they seek romance instead of rules, you leave them to poetry. You want a darker edge? Engineer compliance loops that don't need your presence. Loop 1, the paper echo. After any yes, you echo in writing. Funds Friday. One link, one date, no emojis to buy acceptance. Silence. Echo turns air into stone. Loop 2, the expiring offer. Every proposal has a death date. Offer expires Friday. You're protecting oxygen. You install scarcity without coyness. Missed calls move to the back. Next opening is a reward, not an apology. Loop 4, the case law post. End one meeting at the second lock. Later, publish a neutral policy line. We end at the second interruption. No names, no heat. Culture learns faster from law than from lectures. Let's run. Stacked. Ugly scenes, because pretty ones don't test you. Stack. Low anchor plus process fishing plus net 60. Them. Cut your price. Walk us through process. You. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. Silence. We discuss goals, constraints, budget. Silence. Silence. If they cry policy, you answer with yours. Policies or peers. You. Who owns the decision? You didn't win Twitter, you won architecture. You. What metric and date earned the title? Silence. One channel, one decision. I'll accept with title and comp, or keep scope. You closed the hallway. You kept the throne. You. Thank you for trusting me. Rush review exists. If they can't, outcome and deadline next week, Tuesday 2 or Thursday 10. Love with a gate. Leak sealed. That is relapse. Relapse gets a 24-hour repair, not a confession tour. Neutralize. Within 24 hours. Raise the floor. Add the clause. Close the corridor. End the thread. Publish an outcome. Make it measurable, because your feelings will lie when you stop explaining. The untouchable 5. Weekly. Pause. Integrity. 2 beats before questions, 5 after verdicts. Track with a tally mark on your notes. Gold daily. Door discipline. Percent of exchanges where you led with a binary. Gold rising. Signer rate. Percent of meetings with the decision owner present. Gold greater than 80. Scope seal. Percent of changes priced or moved to phase 2. Gold 100. Exit index. Percent of meetings ended at the second mock/interruption. Gold non-zero. 2 dips in a row? You're being captured. Correct in 24 hours. Rush. Standard. Funds. Phase 2 or add-on. Because is a leash. You cut leashes now. Your written voice will betray you if it's softer than your presence. Harden it. 2. Bodies. Bone. 2 sentences, 1 wink, 1 date. Send. Hope is not a policy. Marketing is not your face. It's your enforcement. Outcomes, openings, rules. Everything else is applause addiction. 2. To those who fed on your explanations, yes. To rooms that carry weight, it's oxygen. You are not colder. You are clearer. You are not rigid. You are reliable under heat. You are not hard to work with. You are hard to exploit. Again. Count 5. In silence. This is how you flip power instantly. You refuse the witness chair. You refuse the essay. You refuse the hallway. You install courts. You install clocks. You install costs. You'll finish the conversion, how to make your reputation do the talking so you never defend again. How to turn endings into demand. How to punish disrespect with absence, not anger. And the final command and call to action delivered in the exact cadence your rivals copy because it freezes rooms. Watch closely. Right now, you're still explaining to people who already decided about you. That's why you stay small. You're trying to win with paragraphs what is only won with precedent. This is the end of defense. From this point forward, your reputation does the talking, your endings do the sorting, and your absence does the punishment. You won't be louder. You'll be inevitable. The goal of this part is simple. Make never defend automatic. So automatic that by the time an accusation appears, the room has already answered it for you. Here is the engine. Evidence, enforcement, echo, exit, elevation. Evidence, stones, not stories. Enforcement, law, not mood. Echo, 1 line in writing. Exit, end clean, no corridor counseling. Elevation, raise the floor, raise the filter. Do this 5 times and people start warning each other about you. Do it 10 times and they start defending you to save their own time. Let's build the reputation machine that flips power before you arrive. The 3 stones of reputation. Stone 1. Outcomes. Short, dry, weekly. No adjectives, no ego. You're letting the scoreboard talk. Stone 2. Openings. Openings, Tuesday 2, Thursday 10. Your calendar becomes a crown the market recognizes on site. Stone 3. Rules. 5 lines that never change. Deposit before calendar. No signer, no meeting. Process follows deposit. Rush is triple. Changes are add-ons. Post those stones where your world looks for proof. Pinned message, page footer, proposal template, onboarding doc. Silence everywhere else. Noise makes you cheap. Stones make you expensive. Precedent makes the stones heavy. You write it by how you enforce law under heat. Make these 5 precedents non-negotiable. You end at the second mock or interruption. You never explain price, you negotiate scope. You don't meet without a signer. You don't reveal process before deposit. You publish outcomes, not essays. People learn faster from endings than from explanations. Endings are the real PR. Now, convert rejection into demand on autopilot with the after-no engine. Clarify the map back. If cost remains the priority, X fits. Withdraw. No follow-ups, no proof drops. You vanish into work. Publish. Ship delivered X by Y under Z somewhere visible. Elevate. Raise your floor by 5 to 10% for the next opening. Not to spite, to calibrate. Return. When they come back, they do. You don't gloat. You price. Glad priority shifted. New rate is X. Deposit Friday. Endings turn no into gravity. Defense turns no into a treadmill. Punishment without noise is next. Call it the ladder of quiet consequence. Rung 1. Restate law once. That's phase 2 or an add-on. Rush exists at triple. Rung 2. Remove access. One channel, one decision. Rung 3. Delay their clop. Offer expires Friday. Rung 4. Price the exception. Rung 5. End. We're off mission. Stand, leave, no scolding, no sarcasm. Gravity. Rooms respect the person who can end without heat. Now you'll anchor your non-defense in artifacts that travel without you. Anyone who hates this page will hate your process. Good. They self-select out. Diagnostic. Paid, short, non-refundable. Credit to delivery. The diagnostic is X. We map objective, risk, scope. This moves the fight from talk to paper and forces seriousness without speeches. Body. One paragraph only. Funds Friday, start Monday. Scope A under constraints B, rush at triple. You just removed most places defense can creep in. No names, no heat. Your culture learns, your reputation spreads. Now we install the auto frames for every battlefield so you cannot be trapped into defense. Sales. No RFP. Diagnostic is X. Credits to delivery. Procurement. We use our paper. Red lines are priced. Net 60 increases price 10% per 30 days. No MFN. Partnerships. Pilot first. 30 days. 1 KPI. Go no-go on day 30. Revenue share after minimum retainer. Marketing. Publish outcomes and openings. Customer success. One channel, one SLA. Out of scope equals add-on. Rush priced. Hiring. You hiring. Paid audition. Real deliverable. Decision owner present. Hiring. U.S. candidate. Paid work sample. Decision owner in the loop. Title and comp in writing. Notice how none of those sentences defend. They declare, they price, they move the burden back where it belongs. We pressure test with ugly stacks, the ones that force the old you into diaries. Stack 1, competitor smear, low anchor, consensus. Them, we heard you're rigid. Others are more flexible and cheaper. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. Silence. Repeat once. If they push again, we're off mission. You just refused their courtroom and built your own. You, who owns the decision? Exits outrank applause. Stack 3, boss moralizes, scope laundry off the record. Them, be a team player. Take more scope now, title and comp later. You, what metric and date earned the title? One channel, one decision. I'll accept with title and comp, or keep current scope. No diary about fairness. Verdict, door, silence. You, thank you for trusting me. Rush review exists. If they can't, outcome and deadline next week, Tuesday 2 or Thursday 10. Love endures, leaks stop. That's phase 2 or an add-on. Policy versus policy. Math negotiates while you stay quiet. That is the old leash tightening. Neutralize, inside 24 hours. Raise the floor, add the clause, close the corridor, end the thread, publish an outcome. Feelings lie when you stop feeding them applause. Metrics don't. Keep the untouchable 7. Every Friday, no excuses. Pause integrity. 2 beats before questions, 5 after verdicts. Door discipline. Percent of exchanges led by a binary. Signer rate. Percent of meetings with the decision owner present. Scope seal. Percent of tweaks priced or moved to phase 2. Exit index. Percent of meetings ended at the second mock. After no gravity. Percent of inbound citing outcomes shipped post-decline. Price integrity. Percent of work at or above floor. Percent rush at triple. 2 dips in a row? You're being captured. Correct in 24 hours. Now we hardwire non-defense with 7 ceremonies, 1 per day. This is how identity replaces willpower. Day 1, doorway boot, every threshold. Exhale, lower note, widen focus, still hands, slow step, 1 tilt, kill hedges, name battlefield, choose doors, 1 beat silence, then speak. Day 2, 5-word verdicts, 3 times. Compress decisions to 5-7 words. Funds Friday. Rush or standard. Phase 2 or add-on. Speak. Hold 5 seconds. Openings. Tuesday 2, Thursday 10. Decline 1 ungated ask. Offer paid diagnostic instead. Day 4. Ending rep. Any. End 1 meeting at the second mock. Calm. Stand. Leave. Log it. No flare. Day 6. Mercy with a meter. Approve 1 rush at triple or 1 paid diagnostic. Generosity with teeth. If blank, tomorrow is already stealing. Egos defend. Law decides. No drama. Just law that learns. And if someone twists your silence as guilt, you don't defend your soul in rooms that sell opinions. You publish outcomes in rooms that buy evidence. You want script steal for the week ahead? Scope or date, speed or price, best or earliest. That's phase 2 or an add-on. That's incorrect. We're off mission. Because is a bribe. You've stopped paying. This is the closing frame. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to arrange reality for the few who can use it. Defending is how rulers turn into entertainment. Deciding is how rulers turn oxygen into outcomes. From now on, you refuse the witness chair. You refuse the hallway. You refuse the essay. You set courts law. You set clocks deadlines. You set costs doors. You publish stones, not stories. You make endings your marketing. You make absence your enforcement. You let the room defend you to save its own time. Say the creed, low and final, and let it settle into the bones that used to tremble. I don't sell my peace to buy your approval. I don't sell my hours to buy your hope. I don't sell my standards to buy your story. I choose terrain, I choose timing, I choose terms. Exhale. Hold 5 seconds of quiet. That silence you feel? It's the weight you used to give away for free. Final command. Like this video if you're done explaining yourself to people who profit from your defense. Subscribe if you're ready to become the kind of person who never argues, only decides, who ends rooms without heat and returns with outcomes they can't ignore. Because this isn't self-help. This is war.